Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. It feels like it's been a minute since I've sat here, but I am thrilled to my core to be reviewing this collection. You guys have no idea how much joy it brings me. But this is the Colourpop Hocus Pocus Collection. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Colourpop and Hocus Pocus. I watch Hocus Pocus every single year. I'm a Halloween fan, a fall fan. I'm a member of Facebook groups for both of those things. So I was unable to get it on the launch personally, so I was very thankful that it showed up in PR. I did not expect it to. I called my Ulta. I was ready to be there on Sunday before anybody else in the store, but I was lucky enough to get it in the mail before I made my trip to Ulta. So I'm very, very thankful to you guys because you are the reason I'm able to receive things like this. But let me not get on too much of a tangent. Today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on the collection. I don't have every single item, but I have the eyeshadow palette and a few other items. I'm going to show you how I got this look and swatch the palette and all that jazz. So if you guys want to hear my opinions, then go ahead and keep on watching. All right, so let's do a little rundown of this collection. Obviously, the star of the show is the palette. It is the Gather Round Sisters palette. So I know that we are overrun with makeup launches, but you guys, fall, Halloween, Hocus Pocus, and Colourpop came together to produce yet another palette that I felt like I needed in my collection. And I love this thing. I definitely was going to purchase it on my own. It is a $22 palette. It has a little cauldron on the front. It says Disney Hocus Pocus Gather Round Sisters Colourpop. It has a little spider. On the back we have cauldrons with all of the shade names. And on the inside we have the Sanderson sisters as well as the 15 shadows in the palette, obviously. So we're going to jump right into it. I'm actually going to swatch these one by one for you guys. I did swatch them for my Instagram. If you guys want the perfect pretty swatches, I'll show you guys those at the end all together just so you can see the color story. But let's go ahead and dive in and do finger swatches. First up is the shade Full Moon. This is a matte cream white with a little bit of shimmer in it. And I'm not trying to flip you guys off, but there's what it looks like on my skin. Not the most pigmented in a finger swatch, but it is a matte white on my skin tone, so it's not showing up the most. Next up is Hello Salem. This is the perfect transition color for my skin tone. It's also probably not going to show up amazing. It's on my middle finger. It's very similar to my skin tone. And there is Hello Salem. Next is the pressed glitter in the palette. This is called Brew Potion, and it's a beautiful bronze. You should have no problem seeing this one. Very, very beautiful. Be careful when removing these. If you do put them on your eyes, if you scrub, you are gonna kind of give yourself a little bit of a burn. Next is On Toast, which is a warm matte brown. So there is On Toast, nice and pigmented. And last on the top row is Coven, which I think is a matte brown, kind of mauvey brown with a mauvish shimmer in it. So there is Coven. Next is Come Little Children. It's the first shadow out of the second row. This is a matte kind of gray color with a little bit of shimmer in it also. That is very, very pigmented. And again, I'm sorry for flipping you guys off. My middle finger is just my swatch finger. Next up is Tis Firm, which I believe is what they said about the pavement when they thought the pavement was water in the movie. This is a beautiful, shimmery, reddish burgundy. Why am I thinking Christmas look? Next is Thackeray Binks. So there is Thackeray Binks. It's a shimmery, purpley burgundy. Next is the shimmery olive that's on my lid today called Yabos. And Yabos is the word for boob in the movie. Next up is the black with shimmer. It's called I Call It a Bus. Very, very nice and deep, but it does have that beautiful shimmer in it. I think it might be multicolored. Next is Wench, the first shadow out of the last row. This one's kind of like a silvery. So there is Wench. Next we have Night of Frolic, which is a deep matte burgundy. There it is on my finger. You can see it is very pigmented when built up. And there it is swatched. Next up is the matte purple called Dead Man's Toe. That one does sheer out a little bit, but it's still pretty pigmented, especially for a matte purple. Next, we have the olive called Bewitched, the olive matte that is in my outer corner of my eye. That one doesn't swatch the greatest, but you will be able to see it in use on my eyes today. And lastly, we have Goodbye Cruel World, which in my eyes is a little bit of a pewter with like a reddish tint to it. Very, very beautiful, unique shade. So I will go ahead and overlay the swatches that I took for my Instagram. I did these using my swatch stencils that I create, and this gives you the color story of the palette all combined. I think it is a beautiful color story. So the palette is stunning. I did use it on my eyes today. We'll get to the tutorial at the end of the video, but I do believe that the colors I used about 4 or 5 shades out of here. They blended beautifully and they look really nice on the eyes. I'm impressed. Usually I can tell by swatches how pigmented something will be. I can't tell you exactly how blendable every shade will be, but so far so good with the palette. For $22, I definitely would purchase this myself. So the palette is approved by me, if you guys were wondering. So in the collection, there are 2 of the Glittery Obsessed glitter gels. I like to use these a lot. I use them as eyeshadow toppers. I don't really know if you're supposed to technically use these on your eyes, but I definitely do. So the orange is called Another Glorious Morning, and then the purple is called Amok. I don't remember if that's how it's pronounced in the movie. I don't know. But we have the little black cat on both of these, and they come with a little protector, a little plastic protector, but I take them off because they drive me nuts. So here are the shades. You can use these however you prefer. I do use them as toppers, but you can actually put them on your body or in your hair for Halloween, which is perfect. Here they are swatched on my fingers. I do have long nails, so I couldn't get a ton. And here they are on the back of my hand. I also have the 3 liners. I did use the purple one in my look today, but there is a kind of shimmering burnt orange kind of red shade. It is called Sistas. The green shade is called Black Flame Candle, and the purple shade is called Trick or Treat. And each of these are like a deep shimmery liner. Here they are on the back of my hand swatched for you guys. I'm a huge fan of the Crème Gel Liners. If you guys have not tried them, I highly, highly recommend them. And then last up, I was sent one of the lip duos. This is the I Smell Children lip duo with the Mary Luxe lipstick and Spinster Ladies lippy pencil. So I have a really bold olive eye look, and to be perfectly honest with you, I never mix olive with red because I feel like a martini. I don't really ever go with that combo. So I'm just going to go ahead and swatch these on my hand for you guys. The packaging is super adorable. We have little cauldrons and eyes and spider webs. So this is a beautiful red color. So there is the I Smell Children lip duo. All right, so I hope that wasn't too much talking for you guys. Now let's get into the eyeshadow tutorial where you guys can see the eyeshadow palette in use and see how I got this eye look. Okay, so starting with the Gather Round Sisters palette. I'm obsessed with this thing. I love it. It's nostalgic to me. I love Hocus Pocus. I'm literally watching it as I'm filming this video. It's in the background. But I love the cauldron. It also has little cauldrons on the back of the palette. And the best part of this palette is that when you open it up, you have the Sanderson sisters in here. I actually don't mind that there's no mirror because I love the little portrait. I'm actually going to keep the big cardboard section of the PR box, and I'm going to frame it for Halloween. Okay, so zooming you guys in, let's get started on the eye look. I'm going to dip in with a Sigma E40, and I'm going to go into Full Moon. And I'm going to dust this all over the lid. I have MAC Painterly today down as my base. So this isn't going to make too much of a difference. It's just going to provide a little bit of a powdery base for the rest of the eyeshadows. So are you guys big Hocus Pocus fans? I know that I have to watch it once a year, just like Elf around Christmas. And I know that there's haters of both of those movies. But I'm such a tradition person. Like, I love the seasons. I love a nice tradition, even if it's just watching a movie. So this collection actually inspired me to finally watch it this year. So I'm watching it right now, and it makes me happy. I made it like halfway through the movie when I was doing my face makeup today. Now this next shade is Hello Salem, and Hello Salem is like the perfect transition medium brown for me. It's a little bit more on the cool side of things. I think it's gonna match my lid quite well right now, maybe just a little darker. So I'm gonna use this to define my crease just a tiny bit, so when I lay the rest of the eyeshadows, everything kind of makes sense. So same brush, just tapping this into the outer portion of the lid, defining that crease just a tiny bit. Don't know if you guys are even gonna see the difference. I was looking through my Instagram today because I do get a lot of comments about like, oh, you do a lot of the same looks and stuff, but I think people that are commenting that are watching selective videos, like maybe reviews of certain palettes. I'm proud of the variety that I provide. I just think you need to watch more than just certain videos. And I was looking at my own Instagram, and not to like toot my own horn, I'm not that kind of person, but I'm very proud of the content that I've created. I do use a lot of the same techniques because I'm not a magician with a makeup brush. I use a lot of the same techniques to create a lot of different looks, in my opinion. Especially playing with color, I have to say, like when I first started my YouTube channel, you wouldn't catch me playing with a rainbow palette, but I've done so many rainbow tie-dye looks. I've done a monochromatic series where I've used a bunch of different colors. I've done purple, orange, lime, blue, navy, olive, every color you can imagine. But I pride myself in creating looks that people can recreate, and like the average Joe can wear this out of the house. I'm definitely not, like I said, a magician with the makeup brush. And some people are, and I love observing that art. But for me, my art is just a little bit different. My art is, in my mind, a little bit more wearable, but I'm getting really sidetracked, so let me shut up. So there's two greens in the palette. There is Bewitched, which is a deeper matte olive, and then Yabos, which is a shimmery olive. So I'm going to dip into Bewitched, and I'm using a E25 from Sigma, which is one of my favorite blending brushes. I'm going to tap off this excess because I do not want olive falling down on my face today. So I tapped off a lot, and I'm going to tap off even more. We will build it up if we have to, but I cannot afford to mess up this face makeup. I'm loving it today. So this is going to go in the outer corner. I'm just kind of patting it down first, and then I'll go in with that circular motion. Now I have done some green looks already. I've done one with the Artemis palette, which is a dupe for Natasha Denona Metropolis. I did that on my Instagram, and I've also done it with the Kylie Kendall palette. I've done kind of light green. We're gonna go for a deep dark olive. Now for those of you guys who are watching this and couldn't get your hands on the palette, I think they are restocking, I hope soon, and you can sign up for email notification if you do want to be notified right when they post a relaunch day. I hope that they are, but you know, with it being a Halloween palette, they'd have to do it pretty quickly to get it out for you guys. Okay, so we need to even out the other eye. I think there's word some people are not liking this palette. I don't know if they just don't like the color story or if something's not blending or whatnot, but so far I'm not having any issues. But I'm also working in very small amounts. I'm tapping that product off. So the way I kind of angled that makes my eyes look a little bit bigger, which I like. So I am going to be going in with the Yabos, and Yabos is that shimmery olive. We might end up wanting to use our finger for this one. We will see. I don't want that fallout, like I said, so I have to tap it off. So I'm going to go in to fill up that empty space. I mean, it's pretty pigmented with a brush. I don't really feel the need to wet it or to use my finger really. So I'm doing the middle and the inner lid, and I'm overlapping the outer color. I think there are a couple pairs of lashes in this collection as well. I was sent one pair, so I will wear those today, but I am curious about the other ones too. I love a good lash. I just kind of did a little lash haul at Ulta, actually yesterday. I had to get my birthday rewards. My birthday is on the 13th. It's coming up. I'm not ready. I feel like no birthdays in 2020 should count if we don't want them to, because we've totally butchered the year. Then I'm going to go in with this silver, and this is called Wench. And with Wench, I'm just going to go kind of in the inner corner. Just ever so lightly. I don't want it to be too dark. And then again, I'm going to hit that outer portion with the blend. Then I'm going to go in with Bewitched again and a tiny little blending brush. This is the Precision Firm Blender E42. I'm going to go in and I'm going to make sure I tap it off because this is going under my lower lash line. And this is just going to go right up against that lash line just to complete the look. And it just helps to make my eyes look a little bigger. So we do have some Crème Gel Liners in this collection. It looks like we have green, purple, and then maybe like a burnt orangey red color. So I actually think I'm going to go play off of the whole spooky vibes and do purple in my tight line, so my upper waterline. So I'm just going to pop this in before we do lashes. Every time I do the waterline or the tight line, it reminds me of when I was a child. I did dance and we had to wear like theater makeup in dance, and it was like human torture. Like my first experience with makeup was like human torture. Imagine like your mom poking this in your eye when you're like 6, like, or even younger. Like it was just awful. Okay, so the lashes that I have are Clever Witch false lashes, and I think that is the style. So here is Clever Witch. So I am going to pop on the Clever Witch lashes, and I will be right back to wrap up my thoughts on this collection. Alright guys, so mascara and lashes are on. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. The Clever Witch lashes are a huge pass for me. They are shorter than my natural lashes, and I had a very, very hard time putting them on. But maybe if you are like younger than 13 and you're wearing lashes for the first time, that's the only way that I can see these working for anybody. They're just very, very short. I don't think my makeup looks awful, but I wish I had like a pair of lashes on that I could actually like see stand out in this look. These are just really short. I'll leave it at that. I don't recommend them. But yeah, you guys, that is everything that I was sent out of the Hocus Pocus collection from Colourpop. I know this was a very difficult one to get your hands on, so some people might feel very salty about that. But I hope that if you wanted it, that you could eventually get it, and if not now, maybe in a restock. I think it was a phenomenal business idea on Colourpop's part to do something with Hocus Pocus. I know people that are buying this collection that don't even love makeup. They just love Halloween and they love the movie. It's a great move. I kind of hope they do something like this again eventually. Hocus Pocus puts me right in my feels. The palette is obviously my #1 recommendation, but I do love the gel liners. I love the glitters. I'd be interested in the other lashes possibly. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up my video and thoughts on this collection. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you're in the fall feels like I am. If you guys enjoyed this video and you like videos like these, then please do me a huge favor and thumbs up this video. If you go above and beyond and share this video, that would mean the world to me. It's been very difficult getting my videos out. If you are new here, I would love it so much if you would subscribe and stick around for more videos, and hopefully I will see you guys all in my next one. Bye guys.